Good evening and happy day 48. And some good news today. Hopefully we'll be out on that golf course this week, so fingers crossed. But until then, another video coming your way. So this is following on from the 3 wedge videos that I did. We talked about the importance of good launch window and high spin rate, looking at that low launching, high spinning shot that all good wedge players, distance wedge players tend to have. And we were looking at that shot between sort of 30 to 80 yards. I discussed the importance of good equipment, discussed the need of a good lie, discussed some technical parameters that you need to apply to the golf club to achieve those optimal impact conditions, to get those optimal launch conditions. But the question is, how do you know if you're launching it out at that magic sort of 30-degree window? So really good question. So they wanted to know because they didn't have a launch monitor. So no TRACKMAN, no flight scope. So you can manually work it out. All you need is a tape measure and some tape, and you can apply it against your net, or you can create some sort of structure if you're out on a practice ground and you know the launch that you're trying to hit it at. So we'll stick with that 30-degree launch for now. So I'll just show you one. I hit on the one on the TRACKMAN. Sorry, that's the 25-degree launch. Perfect. Okay, so see that number. Launched it 29.7 degrees, so just a tad under that 30 degrees. All right, so that was that sort of optimal launch. High spin rate as well, above our 8,000, which is what we're looking for. So how can you check that without a TRACKMAN? So what you need to do is get yourself a tape measure and work out how far you are away from the net. All right, so from the ball that you're hitting from, how far are you away from the net? So get your tape measure out and have a look. There's me with my tape measure. All right, so get out there and measure how far you are away. Once you know the distance you are, I measured it in inches, you then just times it by a certain value. Okay, it doesn't matter which metric you use, whether you're going to be using inches, centimeters, meters, feet. So I was 82 inches from where I was hitting. Okay. So what I need to do to get a 30-degree launch, I need to times it by 0.580. All right. So an example of that, times that, it equals 47.56. So I then need to measure a 47.56 inches up, which is this middle alignment stick in my net. So there's 3 alignment sticks, a red one at the top, a white one in the middle, and a white one at the bottom. So the middle one is my 30-degree launch. Okay, so I was 82 inches from that and times it by that value, and then I'm left with the height that will give me that 30-degree launch. Okay, what I then also did is I put a 25-degree launch, and you can see the calculation from that. So I times 82 by 0.483 to get a 25-degree launch, and if I wanted a higher launch of 35, so let's say I was just trying to stop the ball from sort of landing angle and maybe slightly less ball speed, so to get a higher launch I times 82 by 0.67, and that's represented by the top red cane. Alright, and that tells you where you're launching it. So let me just demo. So what I did, actually the first ball I hit was the lower launch, so I'm trying to hit the bottom stick, and that was pretty close, so just above it. Okay. And then the second one is also the one that was on the TRACKMAN. Okay, so just a tad below that one. I think it was 29.7, wasn't it? So pretty good. It's good enough. All right. And then the final one I did was more that sort of softer, higher launching flight, which if I go back to the TRACKMAN, there's this one. So you can see it's higher. Yeah, launched at sort of 33.3. More loft on it now than the one previous. Okay. You can see I was closer to the top one. There we go. Alright, so it's really visual, okay, and it will make you explore with what you need to do to take that a little bit more loft off it. I just changed the ball position ever so slightly, so by about half a ball. So for the first one, I was about half a ball back from standard. On the last one, I was about half a ball forward from standard. And then I manipulated what the club face was doing. So on the lower one, I was trying to sort of turn the club face down to look at the ground before impact. So taking loft off it. And then towards the higher one, I was allowing the club face to look a little bit more towards the sky. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. So remember, if you want to work out your launch angles, work out how far you are away, and then work out what degree you're trying to launch at. I think putting the 3 up is really good, 25, 30, 35, but that optimal one around 30 is really good. You just times the distance by 0.58, you go that far up in your net, and you've got that nice little window to work from. And again, it's really good to explore with, if you're hitting it too high or too low, what you then might need to do differently to change that. I was using my 58 degree, so I'd probably recommend you use anything from a 58 to a 54 degree. Alright guys, any questions, give me a shout and enjoy.